Most billion-dollar empires start with a pitch deck on a sunny campus in Silicon Valley. But the story of the app that conquered the world started somewhere very different. Picture a cramped, two-bedroom walk-up apartment in Beijing. The air is thick with cigarette smoke and the hum of cheap laptops. It is 2012. And a man named Zhang Yiming is telling his small team of engineers something that sounds absolutely delusional. He tells them they are not just building an app for China. He says their target is Facebook, not to partner with them, but to destroy them. At the time, this was laughable. Facebook was the king of the internet, and Chinese tech companies had a very specific playbook. You copy a Western hit, you clone it for the Chinese market, and you stay behind the Great Firewall where it is safe. But here's the hook. Zhang Yiming saw something nobody else did. He realized that the Chinese market, as massive as it is actually a trap. It is a gilded cage. Sure, you have 1.4 billion users, but if you stay there, you are capped. You are subject to local regulators, and you can never truly scale. So he decided to do the one thing that was strictly forbidden. He decided to build a global content engine from day one. This decision led to the most brilliant and controversial product strategy in modern tech history. It is called the app separation strategy. Most companies try to build one app for the whole world. ByteDance built two. They built Douyin for China and TikTok for the rest of us. And this is not just a language setting. These are two entirely different universes living on parallel servers. Think of Douyin as the domesticated twin. It lives inside the Great Firewall. It has strict curfews for kids. It pushes educational content. It is heavily censored. It is an operating system for daily life where you can buy groceries and book hotels. It is safe. It is compliant. And it generates billions in revenue without ever leaving the country. But TikTok was designed to be the wild child. It was architected specifically to survive in the West. It had to navigate GDPR in Europe and privacy laws in the US. By keeping the code bases and the user data completely separate, ByteDance built a firewall of their own. This allowed them to move fast in Los Angeles without being dragged down by the rules in Beijing. So they had the strategy. Now they needed the users. And this is where the genius of the Trojan horse comes in. In 2017, there was an app called musical.ly. It was full of American teenagers lip syncing to pop songs. It looked silly. It looked trivial. But ByteDance looked at it and saw a goldmine. They bought it for $1 billion. Critics thought they overpaid for a fad. But here's the payoff. They did not just buy the code. They bought the cool kids. They bought the cultural capital of American high schools. Overnight, they migrated every single user from musical.ly to TikTok. They skipped the cold start problem entirely. Suddenly, millions of Western teenagers woke up, tapped an update button, and were using a Chinese-owned app without even blinking. It was a masterclass in growth hacking. But the real weapon was not the user base. It was the engine under the hood. This is where the technical deep dive gets scary. Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat were all built on a social graph. They showed you things because your friends liked them. If your friends were boring, your feed was boring. ByteDance threw that out the window. They built the interest graph. Their AI does not care who you know. It only cares about what your brain reacts to. Every swipe, every pause, every rewatch is a signal. The algorithm treats every user session as a live A/B test. It feeds you content, measures your pupil dilation metaphorically speaking, and optimizes the next video in real time. It is not social media. It is industrialized entertainment. It is a slot machine that pays out in dopamine. This changed the rules of fame. You do not need a network anymore. A kid in Ohio could get 10 million views overnight just because the content was good. Virality became meritocratic and terrifyingly fast. This is why Facebook panicked. They realized their moat, the network of friends you had built over 10 years, was actually a liability. And that brings us to the present day. The Beijing apartment is gone. ByteDance is a titan. But the geopolitical crossfire that Zhang Yiming tried to avoid, it found him anyway. Governments are asking hard questions. If a foreign algorithm controls what a generation sees, learns, and believes, is that just business? Or is it national security? The gilded cage might have been safer after all. But one thing is certain. The era of the social graph is dead. We are living in the era of the algorithmic feed. And the company that realized it first wasn't in Silicon Valley. It was in a walk-up in Beijing. If you want to know how this algorithm actually rewires your brain chemistry, I am working on a deep dive into the neuroscience of the scroll. You do not want to miss that. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and let me know in the comments. Do you think the trade-off was worth it? Thanks for watching.